Let me be straight with you today. There are days in pharmacy where I feel like I'm losing. Not me personally, but my words, my credibility. Someone walks in and says, "I saw this on YouTube. Apparently it completely regrows cartilage. A doctor on TV said this cream makes dark spots vanish entirely. A pharmacist online explained why this works. Why don't you know about it?" And just like that, I become the suspicious one. The person on the screen gets trusted. The person standing right in front of them, me, gets questioned. Honestly, I'm not even offended. If I were on the other side of the counter, I'd probably react the same way. So today, I'm not here to complain. I want to walk you through exactly why this keeps happening, because once you understand the structure behind it, you won't fall for it again. First, let me admit something. I'm not perfect. When it's busy, I might have 3 minutes with a patient. 3 minutes. I don't always get to explain everything I should. I miss things sometimes. That's real, and I own it. But here's what I always do. If I don't know something, I say I don't know. If I'm not certain, I say I'm not certain. Some people selling health products and information can't do that, or more accurately, they choose not to. That's not a swipe at everyone making health content. There are genuinely good people out there trying to help, but the ones causing real problems tend to do two things exceptionally well. The first thing they do, they invest time in you. A 20-minute video, new content every week, replying to your comments, building a relationship with you over months. By the time you're watching their 15th video, it feels like you already know them personally. I get 3 minutes. The second thing, they give you certainty. Try this, you'll feel better, I promise. I know how good that sounds, especially if you've been dealing with something for a long time. I cannot say that to you. I have to say things like, this may help, but individual responses vary, and depending on your existing conditions, we'd need to consider. That's not because I'm bad at my job. It's because I'm not willing to lie to you. It'll cure everything. Why does that phrase hit so hard? People who have been sick for a long time, who've gone from doctor to doctor without answers, they want to believe there's a solution out there. That's not stupidity. That's human nature, completely understandable. That phrase is designed to target exactly that feeling. It's not science, it's marketing. And then come the testimonials. Sarah tried this and her knee pain completely disappeared. I've been using it 3 weeks and my skin has never looked better. Here's what's actually happening. Out of 100 people who tried this product, 2 saw improvement. Maybe because of the product, maybe for other reasons, maybe just coincidence. Those 2 stories get amplified everywhere. The other 98, edited out.
I'm not saying those 2 people are lying. They might genuinely feel better, but nobody can actually prove the product caused it. Now here's something most people don't think about. Those hundreds of glowing reviews under a product listing. Life-changing. My doctor couldn't believe it. Nothing else worked until this. Did all of those come from real customers having real experiences? In the marketing world, this is called viral seeding. When a brand launches a product, they hire agencies. Those agencies have staff, and those staff have task lists that look something like this. Post reviews in 3 health forums. Recruit 10 testimonial writers. Manage comment sections. The review you spent an hour reading last night might have been written during someone's morning shift. Not every review is fake, but from where you're standing, there's almost no way to tell which ones are real. Here's another thing I hear constantly. I'd rather go natural. Those pharmacy medications are so harsh. Let's think about this for a second. Death cap mushrooms are natural. The toxin in pufferfish is natural. Cyanide comes from nature. Arsenic is a natural element. Natural does not mean safe. Now think about what's actually in a pharmacy. Every medication went through years, sometimes decades of research. Scientists determined the exact dose that produces a benefit. They figured out what dose becomes dangerous. They identified which populations should never take it at all. Those drugs aren't safe because they're made in a lab. They're safe because they've been verified in real humans at real doses with documented outcomes. An unverified natural supplement has not been through that process. It might be harmless, or it might not be. That's the honest answer.
Now here's the question I want you to sit with. If something truly cured everything, why is it only available through a social media ad and not through hospitals and pharmacies? Pharmaceutical companies spend over $1 billion developing a single drug. Some spend much more. They employ thousands of researchers whose entire job is finding substances that work. They are searching constantly. And the miracle cure is only discoverable through an Instagram promotion? Let me put it a different way. Imagine someone told you they had a method to take any student from failing grades to the top of their class in 1 month. But no teacher, no school, no tutor knew about it. Only this one person selling it online. Would you believe them? When something is sold exclusively through social media and not through regulated medical channels, there are only two real explanations. Either the efficacy hasn't been proven, meaning there's no reliable evidence it does what it claims, or the side effects can't be controlled, meaning it failed safety review and legally cannot be sold as a medicine. A product that's gone through regulatory approval at least has a baseline of scrutiny behind it. A product that hasn't cleared even that hurdle is making the loudest claims with zero accountability. One more thing worth saying. Some experts who appear in TV segments or sponsored content have a financial relationship with the product they're endorsing. As a consultant, an investor, or sometimes they literally own the brand. Not everyone, but often enough that it's worth asking, does this person profit if I buy this? Health supplements go through trends. Every few years, there's a new breakthrough ingredient. One thing is everywhere, then it fades, then something else takes over. Every time, the coverage follows the same pattern. A study comes out saying a compound may have potential anti-inflammatory effects in early trials. By the time it hits social media, that becomes, this one ingredient fixes everything? May have potential and fixes everything are not remotely the same statement. Thousands of compounds show early promise. Most go nowhere. They fail in larger trials, show unexpected side effects, or simply don't replicate. Out of 1,000 ingredients that generate excitement, fewer than one will still be considered safe and effective after a decade of rigorous study. The odds are genuinely that low. That's why pharmacists tend to recommend things with a long track record, not because we're behind, but because we've watched too many miracle ingredients quietly disappear. And here's the part that should genuinely concern you about newly introduced ingredients. In the 1950s, a drug called thalidomide was introduced. It seemed legitimately helpful. It reduced morning sickness in pregnant women, it helped with insomnia, early data showed minimal side effects, doctors prescribed it widely, it was considered safe. Years later, the reality became clear. Children born to mothers who had taken thalidomide were being born with severe limb abnormalities, thousands of cases, across multiple countries. The doctors who prescribed it were not bad people, they simply didn't know yet. Some things can only be discovered with time, and that time can span years or decades. A supplement ingredient introduced this year might have effects we won't fully understand for a long time. It seems fine right now is not a safety guarantee. Reference, Original Thalidomide Report, The Lancet, 1961.
Now, there are ingredients that have genuinely earned the reputation. Boswellia is a good example, a plant extract with a reasonable body of research behind it, particularly for joint discomfort. But here's what happens when any ingredient goes mainstream. Cheap products flood the market, vague sourcing, inadequate concentrations of the active compound, flashy packaging, buy 10 get 2 free deals that make it look like value. The name on the label is the same. What's inside is completely different. The active component in Boswellia is boswellic acid. A quality product preserves adequate concentrations of it. A low-quality product might list Boswellia on the label and contain almost nothing therapeutically useful. Reference, Anti-inflammatory effects of boswellic acids, Phytomedicine, 2011. When you're choosing any supplement, don't just look at the name. Check whether the active ingredient is listed with a specific dose. Check whether that dose matches what actual research used. If you're not sure, ask a pharmacist. That is specifically what we're trained for. Okay, but if it doesn't work, I just stop taking it. What's the real harm? More than you'd think. 3 things. First, money. Unverified ingredients in premium packaging can run hundreds of dollars. You're paying a significant amount for something that hasn't been shown to do what it claims. Second, and this one matters more, the treatment window. I've seen patients come in after 6 months or a year of trying various supplements for a health problem. By the time they arrive, the underlying condition has progressed significantly. What would have been straightforward to address at the start has become genuinely complicated. That window doesn't come back. Third, your liver and kidneys are quietly absorbing the consequences. People pick up supplements one by one, something for energy, something for joints, something for sleep, something they saw in a video last week. Before long, they're taking 10 pills a day and calling it a wellness routine. Some nutrients are fat-soluble, which means they accumulate in the body rather than getting flushed out. Vitamin A, for example, too much causes liver toxicity. Iron, too much, damages the liver and heart. High-dose calcium increases the risk of kidney stones. Each of those is a good thing in the right amount. Taken together without a plan, they interact, accumulate, and create problems. Your liver won't send you a warning. It stays quiet until things are already serious. Reference: Toxicity of Vitamins and Minerals in Excess, American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2012. If you're coming to talk to a pharmacist, bring 3 things: the names of any prescription medications you're currently taking, any diagnosed conditions, diabetes, hypertension, thyroid issues, anything, and whatever has been bothering you lately, even if it's vague. With those 3 things, I can give you a genuinely useful answer instead of a generic one. A pharmacist isn't a salesperson. We're trained to look at your health profile and match it with what's actually appropriate for you. The more you tell us, the more precisely we can help. Don't worry about taking up our time. This is exactly what we're here for. When I say it depends on the individual or let's see how you respond, I know that's not what you were hoping to hear. But your body is not identical to the person in the testimonial. Your medications, your history, your biology, all different. Accounting for that isn't vagueness, it's accuracy. It'll cure everything, closes that door. It pretends everyone is the same. The person who says that isn't accountable for what happens to you afterward. I am. I'm not a perfect pharmacist. I get things wrong. There's always more to learn. But I try to say what I actually believe, and I try to be honest about what I don't know. Trust the person who knows your name and looks you in the eye, not just the one with the best lighting and the fastest edit. If this was useful, share it with someone who's been tempted by a health ad recently. It might save them more than money. Thank you.